Hello students, this is the first lesson of Hornbill and chapter name is The Portrait of a Lady. The summary of this lesson I explained in the last video, and today here I am going with reading and comprehension. In summary, I have explained thoroughly almost 50% of the lines of this text I have taken in the summary. So here I would try to go faster, try to understand, even then if you don't understand. So very soon we are going to start another online course will be there. So all the lessons you can find there and you can read the summary there also. See, the text start from here. If you are able to see nicely, it's okay. That is the meaning. Here it is given the meaning of some difficult words in the right side. Okay, see, I'm going to read line by line. And I try to go faster here. You have to follow word to word so that you can understand better. My grandmother, like everybody's grandmother, was an old woman. This statement has been narrated, or all the story has been narrated by Khushwant Singh, who is talking about his grandmother when he was in a child, that time, when he grown up, till that time. So my grandmother, like everybody's grandmother, was an old woman. She had been old and wrinkled for the 20 years that I had known her. People said that she had once been young and pretty and had even a husband. But that was hard to believe. Narrator says like that. It was very hard to believe because for 20 years he has seen his granny in the same condition, wrinkled face, old. So that's why he said that it is very difficult to understand that how she could be a young one. So this is exaggeration. Here we can say that exaggeration, that he can't believe, but it is reality. Okay, next point is here, reading from here. My grandfather's portrait, portrait means that photo frame, hung above the mantelpiece in the drawing room. Mantelpiece means where the decorative things are kept. On the wall there is a mantelpiece, it is kept or hanged. Above the mantelpiece there was one drawing or portrait of grandfather which was hanging on the room. In the room, he wore a big turban and loose fitting clothes. His long white beard covered the best part of his chest, and he looked at least 100 years old. So his beards were quite long and it was coming up to his chest. He was looking so old that he was looking that he is a very old one. He did not look sort of person who would have a wife or children. Here the author means that he was looking so old that it did not appear that he might have been young or he might have wife. He looked as if he could only have lots and lots of grandchildren. As for my grandmother being young and pretty, the thought was almost revolting. This bold letter you try to understand. Here the author says that my grandfather was looking so old that it was very difficult to understand that he had children and wife, because he was looking so old that he had only grandchildren. Another point, he says that my grandmother, if I talk, she was young and pretty. That was also very hard to digest or very hard to believe that she was young and pretty. Now next point is that here, yes, she often told us of the games she used to play as a child. That seemed quite absurd. Absurd here it means ridiculous. The games the grandmother used to tell, that what kind of games she used to play in her childhood, that was quite ridiculous and undignified on her part, and we treated it like a fables of the prophets she used to tell us. Prophets were the story narrator who used to tell about the fairies and just like they used to convey the message of God. So narrator here says that how she used to tell the stories about her childhood, it seems like the fairy tales or fables. Fables means fairy tales. Next paragraph is, she had always been short and fat and slightly bent. So her appearance was that she was short, fat and slightly bent. Her face was crisscross of wrinkles, means from all the sides there were wrinkles on her face. Crisscross means linings were visible from here and there, running from everywhere to everywhere. No, we were certain she had always been as we had. Yes, next paragraph is that here the author says that no, we were certain she had always been as we had known her. She was always familiar to him. She was always like the same, that always we have seen her the same condition. Old, so terribly old that she could not have grown older. Means she was so older that no one can understand that she could go more older, and had stayed at the same age for 20 years. Here narrator is giving emphasis that for long years she was looking the same. She could never have been pretty, but she was always beautiful. He says that she could have never been pretty because he did not believe that she might be young, but she was always beautiful. Beautiful, it doesn't mean that only physical appearance. Beautiful, anyone can be there. Whose heart is beautiful, that person is beautiful. So her heart was really beautiful. Now though she was not looking beautiful, she was looking ugly because of wrinkles, but he said that she was not pretty, but she was a beautiful lady. She hobbled about the house in spotless white, with one hand resting on her waist to balance her stoop and the other telling the bits of rosary. Here the narrator says that, up to here I have covered up to here. Narrator says that she yes, here from she hobbled means walk with difficulty, not very fast, not very energetically. She used to walk in the house in spotless white, means she was wearing the white dress, with one hand resting on her waist. On waist she was keeping one hand, like bent people keep their hand on their back waist, and to balance stoop means she was bent, so to balance that she used to keep one hand on her waist. Another hand she was carrying a rosary where beads were there. She used to chant different kinds of mantras. So a rosary, you understand, no? Mala, that for Rudraksh people keep for chanting that one. So such kind of rosary she used to carry all the time. Her silver locks were scattered untidily over her face. Silver lock here, it means her curly silver color hair. Her hair were scattered untidily over her pale puckered face. Here puckered means contracted into wrinkles, means on her wrinkled face her hair was scattering because it was not tied very properly, and her lips constantly moved in inaudible prayer. Yes, she was beautiful. He said that always she was praying, she was reciting something. Here the author says that yes, she was beautiful. She was like the winter landscape in the mountains. Here he has compared that grandmother with landscape in the mountain, winter landscape. In the mountain landscape, in winter season, there is a snowfall everywhere and it is completely pure white. So he compares that an expanse of pure white serenity, breathing peace and contentment. He said that my grandmother was just like the landscape in the winter, which is pure white and peaceful. In the same way, my granny was also peaceful lady, satisfied, and she was a pure lady, pure hearted lady. In this way he describes about his grandmother. Now in the next paragraph see till this page I'll cover, because video is going long and that size of video is going also long, so I'll try to cover in this one. Yeah, you see the next one here. Meaning also you have to understand. An expanse of pure white serenity means the sprayed, endless sprayed area where there is a peaceful atmosphere. My grandmother and I were good friends. First phase was here up to about granny. Now here that is starting about the village life, how they live. My grandmother and I were good friends. My parents left me with her when they went to live in the city, and we were constantly together. Constantly means continuous. Continuous author and his grandmother were living in a village because his parents went to city and they were not settled so far. She used to wake me up. Now here the question will start from here. You have to remember that how she used to treat the narrator. She used to wake me up in the morning and get me ready for school. She said her morning prayer in a monotonous sing song. Monotonous means boring, which is not very much interesting, sing song. While she bathed and dressed me in the hope that I would listen and get to know it by heart. It by heart means learnt by heart. So she used to recite all the poem all the time when bathing, when getting him ready for the school, so that he could listen and learn by heart. But narrator says that I listened because I loved her voice, but never bothered to learn it. Never bothered to learn it, that what she was reciting. Only he listened because he loved her voice. Then she would fetch my then she would fetch my, fetch means bring something. Fetch my wooden slate. Wooden slate means where earlier people used to write in a wooden slate, which she had already washed and plastered with yellow chalk. She used to plaster with the yellow chalk after washing. A tiny earthen ink pot and red pen was tied. Tie them all in a bundle and hand it to me. Means after getting ready from everything, she used to hand over all the things. After a breakfast of a thick stale chapati, means not fresh one, stale chapati with a little butter and sugar sprayed on it, we went to school. Means in breakfast what he used to take? Stale chapati with butter and little sugar. She carried several stale chapatis with her for the school, for the village dogs. My grandmother, reading the next paragraph, my grandmother always went to school with me because my grandmother always went to school because the school was attached to the temple. The priest taught us the alphabet and the morning prayers, while the children sat in rows on either side of veranda singing the alphabets or the prayers in chorus. Chorus means together in a group. So in a group they used to sing song. My grandmother sat inside reading the sculpture. Sculpture means the religious books. When we had both finished, we would walk back together. This time the village dogs would meet us at the temple door. They followed us to our home, growling. Here growling word is there. Growling and fighting with each other for the chapatis we threw to them. Growling means making noises. This is the last paragraph of today's video. When my parents were comfortably settled in the city. Now here that another phase is start. Up to here, see that question will be there, that in how many phase that story goes. So first phase was about the village. Now that is second phase is starting. Question will be there that what is the turning point in their life. So when my parents were comfortably settled in city, they sent for us. Sent for us here means they invited us in the city. That was a turning point in our relationship. This point you remember. Although we shared the same room, my grandmother no longer came to school with me. I used to go to an English school in a motor bus. There were no dogs in the streets, and she took to feeding sparrows in the courtyard of her city. So this one up to here we have covered. You have to remember that how the turning point was. The two phases we have to study, three phases. So first phase was the village, second phase is starting to the city life. In city life there will be one more phase. You have to remember this one. This video is already of more than 15 minutes, so I'm going to stop here, and in next video I'm going to cover the remaining part. Thank you. Have a nice day.